everyone, my name is Chris. I'm the budget guy and I welcome you to my channel. Today I'm going to go over how my wife and I currently do our budget from month to month. As you have seen in our cash stuffing videos, sometimes you notice that from month to month, some envelopes that you have seen be cash or have money put into them before are not in other videos. And you know, each month to us is sort of unique. We very seldomly carry the same budget from one month to the next month. You know, there's differences and changes, and of course that's the good thing about doing a budget, is that you can make it exactly how you need it to be with each month. Of course, some things we pay, we just, you know, we don't have the option to just say, well, I'm going to skip that payment this month, like mortgage, for instance. We always know the mortgage payment is going to be that exact amount. So as far as bills go, they are pretty consistent from month to month. But what I'm referring to is saving for different things. Some months we save more for certain things, and then some months we don't save at all toward them. You know, it just depends. So with that said, in this video, I'm going to go over what we do before a new month starts, how we lay out our budget, and we look at when our paydays are going to fall. We look at how much money we want to save for different items. And I'm also going to go over what our current cash envelopes that we're putting money into right now. And I'm going to show you ones we have put money into in the past, but no longer are putting money into. And then I'm going to explain something we budget for, two categories that we do not take cash out for any longer. They are, they're paid by with a card. So I will get into that later in the video. First, I'm going to start with this sheet that you see in front of you. I do one of these, like I said, every month. So here's February. I never show this on video, but I figured I would go ahead and start showing it to you so you know exactly what's going on behind the scenes. I have not done one for April yet. And so April is right around the corner, so I will be putting one of them together very soon, and I probably will record that for you guys. March and April, though, I can already, you know, foretell that they're going to be very similar. But I still like to write it out. So I know when I go to the bank each week to pull money out for our cash envelopes, I know exactly how much I'm taking out that week. So starting at the top, I put March cash envelopes and sinking fund amounts. And then I also estimate how much we expect to bring in income for that month based on our pay periods. So for March, I estimated $5,190. As of right now, we're on target to be right at $5,400 for the month, which is really nice. But I also had an extra pay this month, so that contributed toward us being over the 5,000 mark, because we normally don't make that in a month. So what I do is I categorize our sinking funds and our cash envelopes. For those who are new and don't understand what a sinking fund is, all it is it's a small savings for a particular item, such as a new car. Maybe you want to save up for a new car. You don't want to finance it, so you want to pay cash for it. So you say, well, I want to put you know, $1,000 aside each month for a year, and then find a $12,000 car, you know, or something like that. That's what a sinking fund is. It's a separate savings for a particular item, not like a normal savings account that may be used for emergency items or for anything, any random thing that you want to take out and spend money on. So right now, as for March, we have a moving fund, we have a car maintenance, we have a fund for our pets, which is vet expenses and grooming, And then we also are saving to repair or replace a headlight on our Nissan Maxima. And so our goal for that is $1,500. So this Nissan repair, I do not take the money out of the bank. Within our bank account, we're able to create multiple shares, they call it, or holding accounts, sort of like a Capital One 360, but we're limited to how many we can do. But I have one marked as Nissan Repair. And so each week I just move $25 from our checking account into that account until we reach that $1,500 goal. Pet vet and grooming is, again, vet expenses that might come up. If we need to get the dogs groomed or if we need to order their medicines, we like to put money aside for that. Right now we're doing $35 a week. We're doing $25 a week for the Nissan repair. Car maintenance, when we get oil changes, tire rotations, new batteries, things like that, we put money aside so that we can pay for them in cash. So we do $35 a week, $140 a month. And then moving. A lot of you already know that we are saving to move. We're wanting to sell our home, build a new home on some family land. And as you all know, with moving comes expenses. So we are putting aside some money each week to be able to pay in cash for as many moving things as we have. We do have an emergency savings in our bank account. So but instead of going straight to that, we want to have some money set aside specifically for moving, and that's why it's called a sinking fund. All right, so I lay that all out. I decide how much we want to put toward each of our sinking funds for that month. I break it up weekly and monthly. Down here, I put our cash envelopes. Right now, our cash envelopes are pet care. This is just for our pet food, cat litter, puppy pads, and that type of stuff that we have to buy on a regular basis. Right now, I'm putting $30 a week into that, which gives us $120 for the month. Health is more like it's a cash envelope now. It used to be a sinking fund, so never mind that thought. Health covers over-the-counter medicines that we may need or prescription medicines. My wife works full-time at a pharmacy, so this health This health cash envelope stays with her. And so when we need medicines or the alike, she will have that money on her. And so $20 a week gives us $80 a month. My wife, Amanda, also gets $25 a week for eating out. She says there's some weeks where she don't spend the $25 that she's given for her lunch because she'll take her lunch that whole week. You know, she's pretty good about that. So what she'll do is she will put that $25 to something else, such as spending, which brings us to her spending. So this changes sometimes. So I think like last month in February, it was $60 a month. So in March, we bumped it up to $70. And so she gets $70 for March just as general spending money. And I have it marked to the side first week of the month. That's just to tell me when to budget for it during the month. So she's already got her $70 for this month. Okay, down here I have a section, and I'm not showing all of it on purpose because I'm going to go over what we're using credit cards for, how many credit cards we have, what they are. And so I will get into that a little bit later. So again, though, this is just what I lay out on paper. This is what it looks like each month before a new month starts, so we can kind of figure out where we want our money to go as far as savings is concerned. We do have, again, regular bills that are always going to be the same amounts. They're going to be paid on the same days. So I'm not talking about those things right now. Over here to the side, I put grand totals. So I'd like to add up how much each week, because I go to the bank weekly. I like to add up each week how much money I'm going to need to stuff our envelopes, our sinking funds, as well as our cash envelopes. And then I put the total needed. My wife gets paid every Friday, so I normally use part of that paycheck to go to the bank on Fridays to take money out. And so like for March, we have $500 a week. Week 2, $430, week 3 and week 4 are $430 a week to go toward these. So this is what this looks like. I will start including it as part of our budget overview video. I'm still putting together the one for April, as well as the Happy Planner calendar layout that y'all are used to seeing. I have to get that out as well. So with that, I'm going to go to the next part of the way we budget right now. So currently, our cash envelopes that we are stuffing money into, and we've been using these same envelopes now for probably about 3 months, so this has been pretty consistent. We have pet, vet, and grooming, which you've already seen, and we put money into that. We have car maintenance. We have pet care, my wife's lunch money, our health envelope, as well as our moving envelope for moving expenses. And these envelopes are getting rather thick, so I'm probably going to exchange a lot of the small bills out for bigger ones, or I'm just going to use some regular envelopes and take the money out, put it in a safe, and then just start over until it gets to a certain thickness to where I'll take it out again. So these are our current envelopes that we're taking cash out of the bank each week and putting money into. All right. Now, I'm going to show you some other envelopes that you haven't seen come up in a while. And I will explain why we're not putting money into those right now. Okay, so these are the envelopes that we haven't put money into for quite some time. And the reason for that is when we started or got the idea that we were going to sell our home and build a new home, we wanted to start putting money aside into that right away. And so in order to do that a little easier, we stopped contributing to other categories for a period of time. Eventually, I will bring some of these back into the budget, maybe 1 or 2 at a time or over time. But I wanted to remind you what we had to the side that you don't see in the cash stuffing videos that I've been doing lately. One of the categories we were putting money into was for recreation. If we wanted to go to the movies, if we wanted to go to a museum or something that we might have to pay a little money for recreation, we would put money into this. We do not have any money in this right now. This is empty and has been for quite some time. And honestly, when COVID came about a year ago, we pretty much put all of our going out and doing recreational things to a halt. We just stayed at home a lot. And I'm sure that's the case for everybody. We just, the virus made everybody, nervous about going out. We were told not to go out more than necessary. So this recreation envelope hasn't had money put into it for quite a while. Eventually we will start putting a little bit of money into this, even if it's, a couple dollars a week, but right now we're not. Another envelope we haven't contributed to for quite a while is giving. This is money that we might hand to someone on the street, or if we want to help out a friend or a family member with a few bucks, we would have this, giving money for that. In here we still have a little bit of money in here. We have, let me see, not a whole lot, but we have $20 in here. And let's see, the last time we put money into this was in January of last year. So this 20 has been sitting in here over a year now. and we haven't done anything with it. Honestly, I forget that I have this money in here. I'm just going to leave it here, though, for the time being. Eventually, we will give it away to people that need it, and we will start putting money into this category again. So there's that. Not too long ago, I was putting money into this each week to pay for our car insurance in full. I had saved up a little over 600, I believe. Yeah, 625 in this. There is no money in here, and the reason for that is I kind of did something that now I sort of regret. I took all of that money out and I divided it between our moving fund, our sinking fund, and then I put the rest in savings in the bank. I was okay, or am okay rather, making the car insurance payment that we have every month. It doesn't strain us in any kind of way financially. And I thought, you know what, this can wait to a later time. In fact, I could probably just pay, I could just take the full amount of the insurance premium out of our savings account and pay for it that way, and then start this up again so that it's stuffed and ready to go for the next renewal. However, I've not done any of that yet, but as of right now, we're not putting money aside for this any longer. We also have a category for house improvement and yard. I don't put money into this anymore either, though I do have some money in here. With spring here, we went to Lowe's the other week and we bought some flowers. I'll insert a picture of them here. And then we also had to buy a couple other things, and my mind is going blank at the moment. I can't remember what, but we were able to use this envelope then. And so we spent $31 at Lowe's, and I don't have the date written down, which gave us a balance of $49, which is what's here. So I do still want to perhaps get some new solar lights to go out in a garden. But you know what? My heart is just not really in this place anymore. I'm ready to get moved and start gardening and landscaping at our new land. However, that's still going to be a while, and I love spring, I love planting, so I probably still will do a few things here. And as you can see, the flowers I bought just to kind of liven up the outside a little bit. Also, we have a gift fund for gifts for people. We have a wedding to go to. I think it's in June or July. It's in Alabama. It's Amanda's cousin. He is getting married, and we will probably use the money that's in here for a gift. We may even add a little bit to it to make it a nicer gift by then. But this is another fund we haven't put money into since January of 2020, and we have $40 in here. So that's just sitting there. It's been sitting there for quite a while. And again, I forget I have money in these envelopes. I forget about these envelopes completely because we're just not really using them and putting money into them anymore. But it is nice to go back and see that they still have money in them. This one is Christian Life. This is money that we like to contribute to our religious organization and things of that nature. This money has been sitting here for quite a while as well. There's 155 in here right now. So it is time to make another donation. I make the donations electronically. So what I'll do is put this money into the bank and then make the donation. And so this has just been sitting over here for quite a while as well. So these are the other envelopes that you just don't see anymore, but I thought I'd bring them out again to show you that We do have a little bit of money still sitting in some of them. Some of them are empty, as I showed you, and some of them do have a little bit of money put aside. So there is that. And again, this video is just to show you how my wife Amanda and I are currently doing our budget from month to month. If you ever wonder how we figure out how much money we're putting into our envelopes, I showed you that in the beginning. We just kind of see what's important to us for that moment. Right now, of course, you know, the most important things we're putting money into is moving, car maintenance, pet, vet expenses, and grooming. And then, what was the other one? And then, I can't remember the other one. It must not be that important, huh? Let's see. Okay, so those are the three we take out in cash, and then this Nissan repair, we're trying to get the headlight replaced. I'll insert a picture of that too, right here. The headlight is super, super hazy, and it was cracked a while back, so the haziness is on the inside. So we're just going to get that whole headlight replaced. And I'm saving $1,500 to do that because they may end up having to replace the front bumper because it also has a couple cracks in it. So that's that. All right, so next I'm going to share with you two other categories that I have not mentioned yet and that we used to budget for in cash in envelopes. And that's groceries and gasoline. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to find a blank sheet of paper and I'm going to write out how we're currently budgeting for those things. So we have two credit cards. Our first credit card is a Capital One card. And I apologize if the video is kind of shaky. This Goose phone holder that I'm using, Gooseneck or whatever they may call it, is, I don't know, it's shaky on this table, and so I'm trying to keep it stabilized, but if you see it shake a little bit, I do apologize. So this is what the card looks like, the Capital One card. It's what they call a Quicksilver. Of course, I've blocked out my last name there. But so this card we use for groceries. Let's see, I'll write it out for you. Groceries, eating out, and household items. So this card right here has currently a $3,000 credit limit on it. I have done my research on responsible credit card usage because we do have a history of using credit cards irresponsibly. And I will go into a story time about that later on. But all that to say is that I try to limit our usage on our credit cards to 30% of the credit limit. So for $3,000, that would be 30% would be, and I'll do it on the calculator so we can see it. All right, so 3,000 times 0.30 is $900. So each month we spend up to $900 on this card. And this also includes a big thing, and I forgot to add it, gasoline for our cars. So $900 is the total amount that we put on this card in the month, and that is 30% of $3,000. So $900 a month. So if you break that up, we do $160 a week for food, and household items. So 160 times 4 weeks in a month is 640. So 640 of the 900 goes toward food and household items, which leaves us with 260. 260 for the month goes toward gas. And so when we this is a card that we get cash back on, which is kind of cool. But anyway, so 260 is for gas, and then 160 a week, which is 640, goes toward food and household. And then 260. So 640 plus 260 is $900, which again is 30% of $3,000. We are using credit cards to help build our credit score. Honestly, our credit scores are pretty good right now. They're, I think they're right at 700 for each of us, give or take a few points. So we've learned how to use credit cards responsibly. We do not carry balances on our cards from month to month. We pay them off in full by month end. So in order to do that on this card, to make sure that we have $900 set aside each month to pay this card off, because that's what we're using on it, we put aside $225 a week. And so 225 times 4 is $900. So we save this each week into a separate account within our bank account, and when the month end comes, we move all of this money over into our checking account and pay the card off. So this is the card again that we are using to put our groceries on when we go out to eat, if we need household items such as cleaning products, or when we go and get gas for our cars. This is the card that does all of that for us. So this went from being budgeted in cash to being on a card, which I know a lot of people like to see the cash stuffing for these. I understand that because I love stuffing cash in envelopes each week. But I will say honestly that having a card to be able to swipe at the gas pump or in the grocery store or out to eat is so much easier than having to count out cash or having to carry cash for those items. It's just what we do. You know, it doesn't work for everyone like that, and it's why we still have envelopes that we budget things for in cash. So with that said, this is where our groceries, eating out, household items, and gasoline has gone to. They are now paid on this card. I will start showing you maybe a credit card insert or a statement of what or charges that we made at different places. I don't know, maybe. I'll have to think on that a little bit. So this is this. So I mentioned we have 2 credit cards. So this is the one we put the most money on, or we charge the most on in a month. Next we have a Discover card. Which, sorry about that, looks like this. It's called a Discover It. This card used to be used for putting gas on. But we changed that once we got the Capital One card and got a little bit of a credit limit increase on that. So the credit limit on this is $300. It's a very small limit on this card. But again, I use the 30% rule that I do not spend over 30% on the credit cards in a month. So if you do 300 times 0.30, it's going to give you $90. So we make sure we don't spend $90 on this card in a month. You ask, what is this card used for? So this is used for miscellaneous purchases. So if we want to order something off Amazon, or we see something out at Walmart, or just we want to go for ice cream or anything, miscellaneous covers just about anything, we put it on this card. So we put up to $90 on this card in a month, and then we pay it off. We don't really get much benefit out of this card. It does have cash back on it. However, with the $90, there's some months we're like, what do we buy? We don't really have anything we want to buy, but I'm trying to keep the card active because I really prefer the Capital One card over the Discover It. I thought it was going to be the other way around, but the Capital One card has been it's been a lot easier to use. The credit increases have come a lot faster. This one, for some reason, is stuck at a 300 credit limit, and honestly, I don't really need any more than that, so that is fine, because the more credit limits they give you, the more tempting it is to spend more money, which is not in the budget. So I'm good with that. And so in order to pay this off, we don't put aside money each week to pay this off like we do for the Capital One card. We just pick a payday in that month, normally around mid-month, and we put $90 into a separate savings account within our bank account. And so by the time the end of the month rolls around, when it rolls around, I move the $90 from that account into checking and then pay this card off in full as well. Again, we do not carry balances on either credit card. And I believe that, along with sticking to not using up the full credit limit in a month, has contributed to our credit scores rising pretty drastically. So again, we do have a past of irresponsible credit card usage, which resulted in bad credit scores. I won't go into detail with that now, but that's just to give you sort of a background on why we use the credit cards we do now, and why the limits are sort of low compared to what some people may have. So that is everything, guys. This is how we're budgeting currently. We are still using more envelopes, of course, than credit cards, but everything is getting budgeted in. It's just that you might not see envelopes stuffed, or you won't see envelopes stuffed for gasoline, for groceries, eating out, or miscellaneous purchases, which we love Amazon, so normally the $90 goes towards something off of there, and that makes it easier because we're paying with a card. We don't have to worry about having money or cash in an envelope to go back to the bank to buy the whatever we want to buy on Amazon. So I hope I've explained everything pretty clearly. I feel like I've been a little choppy, but that's just how I am sometimes. Y'all let me know, though, what you thought about this. Let me know how you budget. Do you use credit cards? Do you stick to straight cash with the debit card? Or how do you budget each month? And I know some of you have YouTube channels that watch me, and I see how you budget, and we all have to do what works for us as long as it is working. I think there's nothing wrong with using credit cards if you can use them responsibly. We went from not using them responsibly to now using them responsibly, and now they're a complete benefit to us because we're getting cash back on purchases every purchase that we make on these, and we're paying them off in that month, so we're never charged 1 cent in interest, which was what our goal was when we signed up for these. So again, guys, that is everything. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Let me know your feedback down below. I hope y'all are having a wonderful day, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye, guys.